Welcome to a festive episode of 843 TV. We are all decked out in our Christmas red. I'm Annalisa Itkor.
And I'm Lisa Richardson. And today we're here in the studio and we're bringing two special guests to you today. Our first guest is Miss Cathy Jones-Gooding. She is the Communications Manager with the Hilton Head Island Fire and Rescue.
And then we'll be talking to Charlie Clark. She's the Vice President of Communications for the Hilton Head Bluffton Chamber of Commerce.
So stick around for another episode of 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV, coming to you today from inside the studio of WHHI. And joining us is our first guest, Miss Cathy Jones-Gooding. Good morning, good to see you.
So good to see you, thanks so much.
Good to see you too.
Thanks.
Well, it is time to talk about some important things today with the fire department. And up first is a special program called Smart911 that's actually been going for 3 years, but a lot of people may not be aware of it. So why don't you share what that is?
It's true. So we are really excited about Smart911. It gives our dispatchers the opportunity to see additional information from you. But let me talk about what the dispatchers see without that Smart911 profile. So when you call 911 from a regular home phone, we will see your name and your address that's registered where you get your bill and your phone number. And that's it. We know nothing else about you or your household. And we have even less information if you use a cell phone. 70% of our calls are coming from cell phones today. And with cell phones, we get your phone number, we know who your provider is, so if it's Verizon or Sprint or AT&T, and we get close, about 150 meters to your location, but that's the size of a baseball field.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really difficult to pinpoint exactly where somebody is. So Smart911 is a third-party vendor that is free to create a profile for all of the citizens and visitors. And you go online, you create the safety profile, and you provide information about your household. You create one profile per household, and then you can include all the cell phones, your home phone, and register information like medications or perhaps medical conditions you want us to know about. You can put in a layout of your home, so if we need to go in during a fire, we know where the bedrooms are located. You can include information about children. I would hate for anybody to have a child that's abducted, but if we've got current pictures of your children from the moment that you called, we can start those Amber Alerts. We have good information. We ask that the citizens go in and update their profile every 6 months, so it's current. We don't have old information, so it's a great opportunity, and it's free.
I also want to point out something you didn't mention, which is pets.
Yes.
Because if you've got a fire in your home,
Yes.
and our firefighters are so amazing, and they realize, our pets are our children. So, we can go in there and we can say, in this house, we have 3 cats and 2 dogs and a bird, and you can even indicate like where they're located. It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. Our service animals, often we want to transport those service animals with the patient, so we know to make sure that we do that.
Right.
It's great.
It seems like a no-brainer not to sign up for this, especially you mentioned with the cell phones. Time is crucial in an emergency, and if you're looking at a range of where to find someone, that's significant. So how does someone sign up?
So it's really easy. You can go online. You can go directly to Smart911, which is www.smart911.com.
I don't know, that's hard to remember.
I know it is. If you want to make sure you're going to the right place, you can also go to the Town of Hilton Head Island's webpage. In the fire department on the left side of the screen, there's a box for Smart911, and that'll also direct you to that same link to sign up.
Now, I know that a big concern for everybody these days is identity theft. Is that information that goes to you secure?
It is. I mean, I don't blame people for being concerned with all of the breaches these days, but it is secure. They use the same security type banks use. So it's secure socket layers. And so if you trust your information with your bank, then we're using the same information. The other unique thing is that I can't go in and search your profile. If I know your name, I can't go in. We only see your profile if you dial 911 from a registered phone. So and it disappears. After about 45 minutes, that information disappears from the dispatchers. So we figure about 45 minutes to handle any type of call and refer back for any questions. And after that, we no longer see it.
Yeah, so it sounds very secure then.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Well, and also if you think about it, you're not necessarily putting financial information in there, and you're not putting out like a blueprint of your home.
Right.
So, you know, it's relatively, it's benign in a general sense, but it is essential for fire and rescue.
Absolutely. And you can put as much or as little information as you want. So if there's just one key piece of information you want us to know, put that piece in there, build your profile, and see how it works. And try it out for 6 months. In 6 months, when you get your prompt to update your information, you can add additional information at that time if you feel like it's secure and beneficial.
Is this just something offered in Beaufort County or beyond?
No, it's offered all throughout Beaufort County, but it's a national program, and so any 911 center that has decided to use Smart911 will get your information. So if you're traveling and you go to an area like Atlanta that subscribes to Smart911, your information is still going to pop up for them. If you have friends or family that are down here visiting, encourage them to also sign up for Smart911. Not only does it help in their community, but if they're here visiting and they update their information to include maybe the address of the guest house that they're staying at, we get that information. So if for some reason they can't speak when they call 911, we at least know where to start looking.
Now, we do still have a generation here that is a little internet phobic. It's hard to believe, but so I think we need to encourage children and relatives to make sure that the elderly in our community are signed up, because I would imagine they're really critical people to have in that database.
Absolutely. Smart911 also made it very easy. So you don't have to create your own profile. You can have somebody help you create your profile, and they can follow up with you or set it up, and then you'll get your alerts. So if you're not quite sure how to get in and create your profile, have somebody help you, and then really anybody, any household should do it. And you do one profile per household. So you have 3 generations living in a home, all 3 are covered. Or if you have one household and family members down the block, walk down the block and help them set up their profile.
Great. Very good.
Well, it is Christmas season, and that brings upon some additional things to be cautious of as you're putting up Christmas trees. And typically it's pretty warm here. We have a little bit of a cold spell, but what are some tips that folks may not be thinking of as far as being concerned about fire safety in their home with Christmas trees and decorations?
Sure, we want to make sure we're always watering our Christmas trees if we have live trees in the home. We don't want to overburden our electricity by plugging in a bunch of cords where they shouldn't be plugged in. Yeah. Make sure we have a power surge. Make sure you check those lights for any frays. We don't want to have any possibility of electrical fires.
Gotcha. And especially a lot of people travel during the holidays. So what do you suggest they do? Should they unplug everything from the outlets? What are some tips if they're going to be gone a few days?
Sure, certainly we want to try to unplug unnecessary items. You don't have to unplug everything, but don't leave them on. Don't leave small fans running and stuff that may cause fires. Don't run out and leave your dryer running while you're out shopping or running to the grocery store.
Oh, so I'm totally guilty of that. Why? So what is the risk with that?
Sure, it's an electrical source and there's heat, and if you're not cleaning out your dryer vent, then the dryer vent gets clogged up, and so you could have a fire. If you're at home, you're likely to smell it and
I just
stop
feel so guilty
it.
right now.
No, don't feel guilty.
I just feel like I'm really responsible.
Just don't do it.
So general rule of thumb, don't leave the house with some electrical source in operation at all times. That's just
if at all
general.
possible.
Okay, I won't talk about the Christmas cookies I leave in the oven when I run out to the mailbox.
I hope you sign up for Smart911.
All right, so going from sort of the more serious topics to something a little more lighthearted, as you said, it is the Christmas season, and I don't think I ever realized how thoroughly engaged the fire departments on Hilton Head are with the holidays. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I think people drive past our Fire Station 3 and they see all of the lights at the fire station, and we try to keep those up. We also have a visual representation to try to keep people safe. It's called Keep the Wreath Green, and that's on display at Shelter Cove. We want all of those lights to stay green. For every fire that we have, we turn the light bulb red, so keep it green. And the other fun thing that we do in Beaufort County is we have a mailbox at every fire station so kids can drop off their letters to Santa.
We just got goosebumps. That's
Yeah.
so cool. That's
fun.
really
That's
awesome. Now, there is one fire station that I think deserves a little bit of a special mention. You want to talk about that?
Sure, it's Fire Station 3, and it's right there by St. Francis. If you drive past, every year we start at Thanksgiving and put up a light display. You can drive through, drive around. We have some people that drive around 3 or 4 times to look at everything because there's so much to see.
There is, and I always like to note that there's a little donation box there, and if you want those Christmas lights to keep going, you know, drop a few dollars in there to show your appreciation.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Some important things and some fun things. You all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV.